Hello, Tom Lavecchia here with the New Theory podcast. We got Kenny Pena on, who is a fitness coach out of New York City. And today we are continuing that trend by having Derek Stubsky on the show out of Binghamton, New York. Derek, how you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me.
All right, so fitness seems to be popping up. I mean, we're getting a lot of entrepreneurs on the show, and we're starting to get more and more noise from the fitness industry. So give us exactly, what you do and a little bit more about your business.
Sure. So I own a small personal training facility, which is a little bit different than a lot of the other gyms in the area, where every time you come in, you're guaranteed to work with a trainer. We have specialized programs for exactly what people are looking for and really help them on the nutritional side as well.
Okay. So you have a studio, you offer training, I'm assuming, is it one-on-one, is it group, how do you do it?
Yeah, so we do have both of those options. We have a one-on-one training and our group training as well. So we try to give a nice variety to help as many people as possible.
Okay, how long have you been doing it for?
We've been in business for 4.5 years. I've been doing it for over 5.
Okay, now give us your formative years. Where did you grow up and how did you get into this?
Right, so I grew up in upstate New York, out of Binghamton, as you mentioned, and I got into it because I found a school. I was lucky enough to get a scholarship to play Division I baseball at Long Island University, which was pretty awesome. And then I got the opportunity to get into their exercise science program, and that really allowed me to expand my knowledge about the field and really fall in love with the idea of being able to apply science with something I loved, which was fitness, and be able to help a lot of people.
Okay, so it seemed a little bit more of a personal mission as well as a financial. Was it, rainbows and unicorns and you kind of grew like a hockey stick, or were there some bumps and bruises?
Well, through the college years, obviously you have your ups and downs with everything, but overall it's been pretty awesome. Right out of college, I was able to get an internship with a minor league baseball team and go in and learn a lot and become one of their assistant strength and conditioning coaches, while also working on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. So the mix of those two really allowed me to see both sides of the coin, where I could work with athletes or the everyday people. Being an athlete myself, I thought that it would be a slam dunk to go and work with these athletes. In reality, I really fell in love with working with the everyday person and being able to help out, your mother and grandmother and father and, the typical everyday people, because it seemed like they had a really big purpose for what they wanted to do.
Okay. So you hung your shingle. What did you start doing first? Classes?
So we started one-on-one and slowly evolved into classes. And now our classes are our main business stable. Okay.
Now, we had this guy, Kenny, on. What happened was he hooked up with Pass Class or Class Pass or something. And it was something I hadn't even heard of it. And it was like an online resource where people pay like $50 and they get the first month, unlimited classes. And he was like, hey, let's try it out. And he actually got oversubscribed to the tune of 200 guests flooding in, and it almost crashed his business. You think it'd be like, oh my God, money's rolling in, but actually almost crashed his business. And as an entrepreneur, he learned to grow, quickly, but try to manage a growth. What resources are you using to get clients? Are you doing, flash deals? Are you spending a lot in PPC? How is Derek getting his clients?
Sure, that's a great question. And when we first started off, we didn't have an advertising budget, so we really worked hard on giving our clients a great experience, and we still do to this day. But it was very important for us to have word of mouth. That's where it first started, and then we started expanding into social media, and we worked on some radio, some TV stuff. But we've really found that, all in all, the better experience that you can give somebody, the more likely they are to tell their friends and family. And that's really where the majority of the business growth comes from, is people referring their friends and family to us. But we do have a pretty solid social media presence. We do a lot of advertising through Facebook and all of that. But the majority of it really, really does come from the referral process.
Okay, you found your way on to this podcast, which we'll get you a backlink for SEO. We'll write a nice article and get you some additional exposure. Are you doing some PR? And if you are, doing yourself, or do you have an agent?
All of the PR and all that fun stuff that we do is strictly in-house. We do as much as we can, and we haven't hired out for it. So far, so good, and it's been working for us.
But I want to give you kudos, right? You're a principal owner. You work. I'm assuming you do the classes yourself, right?
Yes, we also have 3 other trainers on board, so 4 including myself. And it started off where I was a one-man show and definitely needed some help because it became very overwhelming to keep up with the demand of the office and desk work on top of being on the floor and doing all the training. So we were able to expand, get some trainers to help us out, and I've taken more of a backseat to training and more of my priority being the desk and office work. So it's I miss training a lot, but there's other things that need to get done as well.
But what I was getting at is I want to give you credit because you're a trainer, but you're smart enough to know you got to do branding and I got to almost do your own PR. So I give you credit for that. From a business perspective, when did you add a second, third, and fourth trainer? Is it by revenue? Is it by classes? Are they eat what you kill? How did you know from a process perspective to add those additional resources on?
Sure. So, like I said, I started as a one-man show. We were in a very small location, so it was pretty easy to manage. And I was actually being put up for sale, so I had to look for somewhere else and actually found an old dance studio, which played really, really well for what we wanted because there was mirrors and open. So moved into there, and there's 2 sections to our building. The front one, which is what we built out to do exactly what I was doing at the initial location. And the back room, we really had no idea what to do. And I started doing my research and spending some time at summits and working with business coaches and came across Fit Body Bootcamp, which is an international franchise. And I was able to invest into their business model, and we built out the backside of the building to be a Fit Body Bootcamp location, which is the main reason why I took the risk. Well, 1, took the risk of investing in them, and 2, took the risk of hiring someone on board because I knew I would be able to be at 2, 3 places at once. And so it was the risk and the want of growth that kind of forced my hand into looking into hiring somebody.
At this point, and I'm with you, so I'm not like throwing stones, but I'm saying at this point you're a small business owner, just like myself, right? But we want to scale. So are you planning to scale? And if you do, what does that look like?
If we're scaling, well, the beautiful thing about scaling and possibly looking at a different location is that the Fit Body Bootcamp model makes it super easy to scale. So if we were to expand, we would probably just take it to another bootcamp location because, like I said, scaling on that level is pretty much already done for you, which makes the transition to a location or 2 extra locations that much easier.
All right. We do a little bit, and I don't know if it's philosophical or just maybe something you've thought of, but I noticed that guys like yourself or who I spoke to are not necessarily selling much products through in the studios. Are you selling any products? And if so, what are they? And if not, why aren't you?
So we don't. And one of the major reasons why is I feel like if I'm going to put my name to something, that I have to be 110% behind it and no questions asked and know the product in and out. So we do give recommendations for people who feel that they need to have supplements or whatever it might be. Other people have pushed them on me, other coaches saying that it would be a good idea for extra revenue, and it probably is. But at the same time, I have to be 110% behind something to go ahead and push it. We've entertained the idea. We've had some products in, but nothing that we could really 100% truly stand behind. So if there's something out there that we can get behind, we'd probably end up doing it. But that's the main reason why we have it.
Now this is important. Now, do you philosophically don't believe in supplements and want to go like fully natural, or do you believe in supplements you just haven't found the right one to latch onto?
Let's say a little bit of both, because I'm a big firm believer that if you're eating wholesome foods and you're eating healthy and you're doing what you're supposed to do, then the supplements aren't really all that necessary. Now, myself, do I use supplements? Sure, and I use them to help recover after workouts, and that's about it. So I'm not a guy that pops all these pills and takes all these different powders and all of this. I have my protein shake, and once in a while I'll crack into a pre-workout. But besides that, I'm more along the lines of trying to eat as healthy as possible and getting everything you need from whole foods as opposed to supplementing them in.
Now, are you like pretty well versed in the space? Like, do you go to Olympia? You go to the shows, you follow a lot of stuff online, or are you more of your head kind of down kind of guy, do your own thing and not follow as much as the industry? Where do you lie in that spectrum?
So I think the industry has a lot to offer, some good and some bad, just like any other industry. Yeah. So as far as like going to the Mr. Olympia and all of that, I haven't made my way out. If I pay to travel, I usually go to business summits increase my entrepreneurial skills and get better as a leader and as a business owner. As far as the industry goes, I try to keep tabs on it and take what I like and hopefully apply it to our programs to make our clients' experience that much better.
Okay, makes sense. All right. Who are some of your mentors?
My dad's the number one for sure. He was actually the best man at my wedding, and he has been one of my business mentors and life mentors since day one. So by far, he's number one on that list.
Got it. All right. I like what you're doing. You got a little media training. You know how to answer questions. A lot of people answer questions kind of long. I sense a good discipline. You have a military background, boarding school? Your father was strict. I sense a strict background in a good way, not a bad way.
Sure.
What am I picking up here?
So where it comes with the discipline and being able to keep working even through the tough times, it really falls back onto athletics.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I told my dad, who I said was my mentor and my little league coach and all of that I wanted to play collegiate and, if possible, professional baseball. And he told me if I was serious about doing it, that he would do everything in his power to put me in the position to do so, whether that meant extra work or traveling across the country. And that was something that I jumped onto, and he never forced my hand to do anything, but continually stressed what it would take to become successful. And he's a successful entrepreneur himself. So I was able to grow up in an environment where I saw what hard work, focus, and the ability to keep your nose to the grindstone, if you will, really can take you. And so that was very motivating at a young age, and it really transpired to me into adulthood now.
All right, makes sense. All right, Derek, I love what you're doing. How can people find you?
So we are on Facebook, so you can check out the business page on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Stupski. That's STUPSKI Fitness. We're also on Instagram @Stupski Fitness, and on Twitter, although we're not very active on Twitter, you can find us there @Stupski Fitness as well.
Absolutely love it. Derek, it's a pleasure having you on the show. I don't do this to every guest, but I want to open up the doors. If you want to contribute, whether it be one of your videos, whether it be a written content, it could be audio, could be even just a quick thing on your phone that you want to send in. You have my email. Feel free to keep an open line with us, and welcome. I appreciate having you on the New Theory podcast.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity, and we'll take you up on that offer. You'll be hearing from me soon.
Awesome. Talk soon, brother. Be well.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
All right.